everybody. So we are very glad to welcome you in our webinar, our Zoom meeting. And this meeting is about social work as a profession. So what we're gonna do, I think the first part, it's introduction. And I think it's good if everybody can switch on camera and say, hello, my name is, I study, and pass to other person. Let me start. Okay, my name is Anastasia. I'm a teacher at Social Work University, or State Russian Social University, and also Social Work College. And also, I'm a PhD student in Czech Republic, in Ostrava University. I'm here because such type of events is my job. And also, it's very interesting to communicate. So I pass to Janet.
Okay, I'm Janet Arnand, and I'm a professor of international social work at the University of Eastern Finland. If you can hear, my accent is not Finnish, it's Australian. I can tell you a little bit more about that later on. And I think that Anastasia and I met because we are part of ERIS, which is a European social work research network. And I also teach global perspectives in social work. And I'm really interested in what's happening in social work in other countries. Okay, next person.
And you must pass to anybody.
Oh, I must pass to someone. Ramazan.
Hello, everybody. I'm so glad to see you. And my name is Ramazan. I am a student of Russian State Social University. My direction is organization work with youth. And the next person will be Johannes, right?
Yes, thank you, Ramazan. Hello, everybody. My name is Johannes, and I study social work in University of Eastern Finland. And this is about my 4th year as a student, and now I'm this autumn starting my master level studies. And nice to see you all. I will pass to Anna.
Yes, hello, my name is Anya. I'm a student of the Social College at Moscow, and I'm glad to see you too. Who's next?
Silla, try Chilla. Silla.
Yes, I can take. So my name is Chilla Westag, and I'm a doctoral student at the University of Eastern Finland. I work very closely with Janet. And actually, I think my background actually is not in social work. So my master's in sociology I did, and I did postgraduate studies into international human rights. But my research interest is very much linked with social work. And my thesis is focusing about refugees at the early stage of resettlement in Finland. And who I would like to give the voice, Alexandra, you are next.
It's me. Yeah. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Alexandra. Good to see you all. I'm a 3rd year student of social work, and the next will be. I see only one person, and it's Heidi, maybe, right?
Hadi.
Oh, it's Hadi, yeah. Good to be here, and hello everybody. Thanks for organizing this webinar. My name is Hadi Farahani, and as Chila mentioned, I'm also closely working with Janet as my main supervisor at University of Eastern Finland. And my background is also sociology in BA and MA, but in PhD, the major is social work, and my PhD dissertation is focused on mental health and well-being of Afghan refugees in Finland. Thank you. And now I pass it to Victor.
Hello. My name is Victor. I'm 23 and I'm a third-year student at the Faculty of Social Work of the Russian State Social University. Maybe who wants next?
I'm just thinking Akiko? Akiko? I think
Mute. Yeah, hold on. I have to start my camera.
yes, Akiko. While you're doing that, I can tell everybody that it's the end of term, so most of our students have finished their classes. So that's why we haven't so many undergraduate or social work students in this discussion.
Can you see me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so my name is Akiko. I'm a doctoral student at University of Eastern Finland, but I am not a Finn, of course. I'm originally from Japan, and my background is very, very much social work because I studied social work in the United States, actually. So, and my research, my PhD dissertation is about history of idea in Japanese social welfare system, how this idea of social welfare came into exist when Japan was developing as a nation state. So so this is something that I've been doing, and I'm trying to finish my dissertation, and it's been a while I've been working on this topic. So I think, Natalie, you are the one next. You should, Natalie?
Oh, yeah.
Hi, I'm Natalie, and I'm a first year PhD student at the University of Eastern Finland. And my background would be I worked as a professional social worker in Australia in child protection and hospital social work and Indigenous health as well. And then I did my master's a Nordic master's in social work in Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. And then now I've started my PhD. And my topic is parenting needs of refugee families integrating into Finland. Sorry, I only heard your background, so I was... Is that what you would like to hear?
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
Great.
No probs. Now, we have Julia too.
Hello, everybody. My name is Yulia. I'm a student of Russian State Social University. My profile is organization work with the youth. It's one direction of social work, and I think we will have a very good discussion about social work at our countries.
And we look forward to that, Julia. Yeah.
And the next is Dadi, I think.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Yulia. My name is Dalia, and I'm a first-year student in the Russian State Social University. Now I'm a teacher in the college, and I teach social work for my younger students. Thank you. I think next will be a bit good.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. My name is Bibi Gul. I work as a teacher in a social college and train future social workers. I have been working for more than 3 years, and now I study in a social university. So that's all. Next, please. Jonas.
I think we've done most of the Finnish students, but I think that we still have Dali.
Dali, yes.
Hello, colleagues. Nice to meet you. My name is Dali. I'm 20 years old and I'm a third-year student at the Faculty of Social Work of Russian State Social University in Moscow.
Okay, that's all, everybody? Yeah? Okay, thank you for your introduction, for information about yourself. And what we're gonna do now? We must decide about the rooms. We have 3 rooms. One room is about the history of social work in your country. Second is about pluses and minuses of social work, how it is, what is it to be a social worker in your country. And the third is a personal story. How did I choose social work? Maybe years ago, or maybe it was just 3 or 1 or 2 years ago, doesn't matter. How did it happen that you are now in social sphere and in social work? Okay, we can have 2 ways. The first way, I will put you to some rooms, and the second, you can choose the room. What is better for you?
Can we choose?
Choose?
I think the first way is very interesting.
Okay, choose or put you to room.
I think choose, because I think some of my students have some real interest in, but I think that we should spread ourselves out so we have a mix of Russian and of and Finnish representatives. So
okay. Okay, so now we'll go to rooms, and then you must discuss the topic about history of social work, or about pluses and minuses, or about your personal stories. And after the time will go out, it's 15 minutes, and after we all must get together in this main hall and discuss what you learn new from your colleagues, from your partners, and the aim is to compare Russian and Finnish situation. Okay. I'm not sure if you can choose the room. Sorry.
Oh,
okay, just give me 1 minute to change it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, while we're doing that, I thought I could tell you a little bit about my background, because as I said, I'm a teacher here at the University of Eastern Finland, but I studied social work in Australia, and I was and I graduated in 1981, guys. So I'm quite old. And I graduated from the University of Tasmania, and it was a 4-year course in social work, and I received a Bachelor of Social Work. Then I went on and did my PhD in social work at La Trobe University in Melbourne. And I did that on paediatric or children's admission to hospital, because I was a hospital social worker for about 30 years. So I worked in all dimensions of hospital social work, in accident emergency, and medical wards, surgical wards, women's hospital, with obstetrics and gynecology. Do you have social workers in hospitals in Russia? Do they employ social workers?
Yes, we have social workers at hospitals.
Great.
Yes, we have.
Good. Do you know anything about them? What they do? Do they?
Okay, let me interrupt you. Sorry, guys. I cannot change it, so I just put you to rooms. Sorry. Okay, so now we are moving to session rooms and discuss, and after back to this main hall. Okay. Let's go. Дали, вы куда-то должны перейти в какой-то зал.
No, really Russian.
Oh, are you all Russian or not? Or do you come from different backgrounds?
Of course we're Russian.
You're all
You can hear it in my accent.
Well, yeah, maybe, but yes. But I'm just interested because we have quite a diverse group, but most of our students are Finnish. But at the PhD level, they come from often come from different countries, and I teach in English. So the students, my students are usually English speakers, and so would come from different parts of the world. And Russia is such a huge country, I mean, and a diverse country, I gather.
Okay. So
we
what? Yes, sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry if I interrupt you. Okay, what we must do? Me and Alexander from Russia, Janet and
Chilla. It's okay.
Why Chilla?
Yes,
exactly. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's because I'm originally from Hungary, so that's.
You're from Hungary. Yes, sure.
It's okay. No problem.
Natalia, are you from Poland?
No, I'm from Australia.
Yes, because
I thought she's Russian.
Because I saw you at maybe Aries meeting or Nordic Baltic. Yes, so I thought you were from Poland. Sorry. Okay, so we have different countries: Finland, Australia, Russia, Hungary, and
Russia.
Yeah.
Czech Republic.
And Czech? Why Czech? Because I studied there?
No. No.
No, yes, I study, but I don't know about our topic, anything, so just Russia. So may I ask you to tell maybe 1 or 2 minutes to us about how help to other persons became a professional help. When people start to earn money with helping to other people. And then some educational organizations appear at your country. So maybe Janet, you will start.
Could you ask me that question again? Because I thought I was going to ask, like, why did I become a social worker?
I'm interested about money in general, because I think that I don't believe that we can make a real big money in this profession.
Oh, money. Okay. All right. So did I become a social worker because of money? No. Yeah. The reason why I became a social worker was because I wanted to help people, and that probably sounds really corny, but both my parents were from the helping professions. My mother was a nurse, and so I went to a school that also encouraged us to do things for the community. And so I chose social work. And in the 1970s, when I did social work, it was a new profession. It was university-based profession. There were lots of opportunities and jobs for social work. And it was reasonably well paid, but it also offered a diversity. I could work in child protection, I could work in hospitals, I could work as a private counsellor. And so that's why I did social work. I didn't do it because I wanted to become an academic. I had no idea of doing that. All I wanted to do was work with people and help people.
Okay, thank you. Maybe Natalie? Natalie? Yes, because in Russian it's Natalia, and it's
but
hard.
in English it will be, I think it's Natalie.
I know, you can keep on calling me Natalia.
Thank you. Okay.
Well, my background, same as Janet, come from both sides of my grandparents and my parents are doctors, and so I've grown up watching, especially I think my father work in rural communities in South Africa with, you know, vulnerable Africans there, and I've grown up with that mentality of not attaining a job due to wealth, but doing something that you enjoy doing. And I enjoy working and with people and finding, you know, I'm quite good at getting your story out within, you know, the first snapshot. So I think when you've got skills like that, then of course being a social worker is great, because I enjoyed working in the community with different types of, you know, people. You know, I've worked with refugee women coming into the women's hospital with no housing, nothing, and having to really think quickly on my feet, how am I going to help this person in the short term and then long term? And you have to be really quick at those solutions. It's real, you know, and I enjoy that fast-paced work. But then I've also worked with Indigenous people as well, and that was a real privilege, as in they allowed me to do foster care with their community for 12 months, and I was, you know, I really had a good insight as the struggles that they faced and, you know, still face today. And then I had the joy of working in child protection with high-risk adolescents, which was even more challenging. And we had a really bad case in Melbourne at one stage of gang-related violence with these young, and they were targeting African youths, but it was very high-paced, but you had to deal with crisis after crisis after crisis. So, and then I won a scholarship to do my master's, and I didn't think that I would go down the academic path as well, but I'm really enjoying it, and I'm enjoying writing articles. And so I'm lucky that I've had such a good practical base, because when I read stuff, I can actually understand exactly what is going on, because I don't think theory, a lot of what I've learned has been in practice. So yes, you learn your theories and everything like that, but I think you really need to get your hands dirty in the field to understand what social work's about. So I think that has benefited my academic career that's now starting, because I understand exactly what life is like. I know, you know, I've seen people struggle. I've seen kids refuse to even, you know, refuse to not conform. I can't think of the word, but I've seen also what intergenerational trauma has done for 4 generations of family. So when you read about it in school, to actually see it in the flesh is amazing. So I think it's a really good profession, because you can work with any aspect of life itself. So, and I know what I don't want to work at. I've always said I'm never going to work with old people, because I don't want to get attached and then cry, and I can't do that. But I'll work with anyone else, just not old people. So I think it's, you know, social work is a great profession.
It's interesting, Natalie, you mentioned this thing about the profession and academia. At the moment in Finland, there is a very big discussion about whether social work should concentrate on professionalism or becoming more scientific. And in actual fact, I think they inform each other, but that's a big debate here at the moment.
Interesting.
Okay, who's next?
I can to start. Yes. Okay, I'm just a student, not like you, I guess. I just needed, to be honest, I just needed to go somewhere, and I ended up.
Yeah.
Okay. I ended up where I am now, studying at Russian State Social University. I doubt that I will connect my life with this profession. I'm not saying I don't like helping people, I just don't want it to be my life's work. So I just need to finish my studies to pass all exams well. Yes, Anastasia Vladimirovna.
Yes.
Yes, because I'm his teacher and he's in my course, so.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah, I guess I comment with that, because I think that not everybody becomes a social worker in a social work course, and I don't think we necessarily teach that as well. I think social work is a great profession if you want to go on to do other things, in terms of working in communities, working in public service, working with people, and good communication skills. So it does give you lots of options.
Yes, I think that it's a very wide specialty.
If I can add to that,
but I have other interests in life.
If I can continue, because I think what Alexander said it's really linked, like a little bit like I had my own doubts, because my background is in sociology. So when I started to work, even on my thesis, I was having even doubts like which topic I really want to explore, because to write a master thesis in my home country in Hungary, it was taking like a year, and you had to do your own research and you had to plan it, and it has different steps. And when I look it back, actually, this was really the time, the final year, when I was looking for specific topics, and that was really helping to shape my interest. So immediately when I graduated from my master's, I went for a year to work with refugees in Austria, because these EU projects, when you are graduating, there are a lot of funds available for EU students to go for an exchange to abroad. And I was doing basically youth work, youth social work. Even as I had my background in sociology, I learned that kind of the language, and then it was a snowball effect, because then after finishing my 1 year work, I was getting a job in Switzerland, and I was able to go there for working again for a year with youth work. So, and then I returned to my home country, and I was really like thought that, okay, to be a sociologist and to get a job, it's really, really challenging. And I think in 1 month I was getting offers because big EU funds were arriving to my country, and social urban rehabilitation has been spreading around in very poor areas. And each of these municipality-owned project companies were looking for a sociologist or a social worker by background. So they had to balance the team of 5 people. Some had like financial background, somebody had like an architect background, and we were a team, and we were basically signed up for 6 years to work specific areas. So immediately I was getting, even from 2 or 3 municipalities, offers in Hungary that, okay, we want someone who has a background as a sociologist. So basically having a diploma was getting me to be project managers in various EU projects. So it was like, I was not even planning that. Some of my colleagues were really going into academic world or even to companies to be sociologists, to doing public opinion poll and so on. But I started to work actually on my daily basis with social workers and NGOs. So I'm just telling you that when you think that maybe social work is not maybe your main profession, I'm just telling, like, life can have you a different challenge, because I'm also doing a lot of other things now that I thought first doing. So yeah, I mean, who knows? So my personal advice is really, if you speak languages and if you're graduating, I really would look for international opportunities, because especially UN-based organizations or even UN volunteering, some of them are paid positions. So I think I would encourage you not to give up social work as a profession, but maybe just a little bit widen a little bit the horizon. And I think this is a kind of way that I learned from my own experience. Like if you have an idea and you look for some experience, I think this is really the right time when you are about like 20, early in your mid-20s or even in your 30s. So I'm just encouraging everyone to take a look for these NGOs, even international NGOs, and give you a try. And I think that would really give you, I think, also kick and new ideas for growing professionally.
Alexander, can I ask you, what are your other interests?
Well, it's my personal interests. I don't like to talk about.
Don't talk about them. Okay. Why I ask that is because sometimes you can combine, like, art. I'm interested in art, and I'm also interested in horse riding. And I'm able to...
Okay, I will tell. It's humor.
Humor, comedy.
I would like to...
Do you know, Alexander, there was we had a social work comedian in Northern Ireland who actually used comedy to project some of her messages and ideas. So comedy, she used that in terms of her work. It was really quite unique. But thank you.
Okay, I think it's my okay. So I didn't choose social work as a profession for myself. It was 1991 when social work appeared in Russia as a profession. And I entered university at 1998, so 7 years then social work was a profession. So nobody knew what is it. And when I came to university, I saw this direction, social work, and a woman, a teacher from the social work department, she said, social work, it's like a lower and social sphere. You will protect human rights, will earn a lot of money, will be a rich person. I said, okay, to be a rich person, yes, that's all what I wanted in my 18 years. So I entered university, and maybe in a second year of study, I started to notice that nothing about law and nothing about human rights. Social work is something different, but I studied for 2 years, so I was in the half of the way, so I decided to finish my studies, and I thought I will never be connected with social work. I just wanted to have my diploma and say goodbye to to social work and university, whatever. And in 5 years after entering university, the head of department of social work, he said, maybe you want to be a teacher at our department? I said, okay. So, and I'm still here for 20 years. Of course, I love people, I love to help. But I worked as a social worker for 1 year, and it was the worst year in my life. It was the hardest job, the hardest profession. I worked with families at risk, and now it's a topic of my PhD dissertation. It was really hard, not because of clients. Clients are very funny persons, and it's good to communicate, but because of bureaucracy, a lot of papers, a lot of people a lot of colleagues who don't love clients, don't like to help. They just want to stay in their position and earn some money and nothing else. So it was really bad, and I left my job, and now I'm a teacher, and it is better than to be a social worker. Unfortunately, I would like to say something good about my job as a social worker, but I have nothing to say about classes, and sorry, my story. Yeah. And actually, we are in the room number 1. So our goal is to discuss about the way of social work as a profession. So now, you know, in Russia, social work appeared only in 1991. So now it's 29 years of social work as a profession. And before this, there was no social work, maybe social protection like pensions, benefits, and that's all. So now social work in Russia, almost 30 years old. It is young, young person, young woman, because social work has a woman face. You know, we speak because most social workers are female.
Yep, it's feminized.
Okay, so we have not so much time, so maybe you will also say about
I can say
our profession. Yeah.
About Finland. Finland too, it's relatively young. I think it really grew out of social policy. It's probably only been a strong profession for about 20 years or so. And it is located in the university, whereas in some other European countries, social work is located in the universities of applied science. In Australia, it's been in universities since certainly the early 70s, although there also has been a whole history of charity and social work. So it's in Finland, it's well paid, good status. It is connected with the welfare state. It's the profession that helps to operationalise the welfare state in terms of helping to deliver the services.
Okay, thank you. And about Australia?
In Australia, yeah. Oh, Natalie, do you want to say Australia? It's very well paid in Australia, relatively well paid, because we're on a par with maybe teachers and nurses and occupational therapists. Yeah, be a mid-range. reasonably well respected, although it does have quite bad press because of child protection issues, in terms of social workers not taking proper care of children. We have a number of very large, we have about 6 or 7 schools of social work that are probably more. Probably much more than that, probably about 14 schools of social work. It's accredited, it's professional, it's and it has good status. Yeah. I mean, a social worker in Australia and in Finland, a senior social worker could get as much as I get in wages. So it's.
Okay, and in Hungary?
I think so. Basically, as far as I know, social work has been established not as a profession, but actually to giving benefits during the First World War or just before the First World War. So basically, it was supporting the poverty or orphans directly, like with benefits, financial benefits from the family. But then actually, the social work was very much linked together with sociology. So I think the profession itself, to get like a degree in social work, was only available in 85 or since 85 onwards. And here I think social work is not a really popular profession, and I think also as something similar like in Russia, it's female oriented. And I think unfortunately it's not really well paid. So the reason I think there is also a big fluctuation like on field work, field social work. And I'm meaning field social work is most of the jobs are done, for example, with homeless people and with poverty. So I think it's very special. It's basically, even social work has a very special school for this type of field work and working with clients. So actually poverty and homelessness or serving homeless people, it's really a big issue, especially during the autumn and winter time here in Hungary, because people not intend to go to shelters. So the social work is usually happening in these circumstances in night shifts, and they are working together with healthcare professionals in many cases. So unfortunately, it's not really a well-paid profession, but I think I tend to see that there has been some changes in the last 10 years. So I think if I look back, like in my early years of studies, the circumstances and the working conditions, I think, were much worse. And a lot of people are joining actually not the state positions, but the NGO supported positions. So it's very common that that religious organizations, just like kind of organizations like, for example, the Red Cross or charity-based or even church-based organizations are getting more and more popular, and they are getting, I think, even better working conditions and salaries as well. So I see some of my friends who are working now as social workers in Hungary, they are earning way better than staying in the state system. So this is one thing that I have been seeing this lately as a trend.
Yeah, I think this is an international trend. Social workers coming from government to NGOs, organisations. I think the feminisation of social work is really interesting. I was interested to see, Anastasia, that you have a few guys in your class, which is quite unusual, because I've worked in about 4 countries, and all I've lectured to is a sea of women.
Yeah. Okay, so now we have finished our discussion in session hall, and now we must return back to the main hall, and you must put the button, leave the room, and back to the main hall. Thank you, guys.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you, Alexander, too. That's great.
Okay, let's go back to the main hall.
Good.
Sorry. I gave 1 minute to other rooms to return back here, and after we will summarize some ideas and what we discussed, and maybe someone of you want to present our work and do we have some volunteer? No? Okay, maybe Alexander, if he is my student.
Alexander. I'm sure Scylla will help out. Alexander.
No, I can do it.
Oh,
Yes,
good.
sure, you can. Okay, 1 second. Okay, welcome back. I just hope you had a good discussion. And now the last part of our session is to present what we discussed. And we will start from the first room. It's our room. It was me, Chilla, Natalia, Janet, and Alexander. And Alexander said he wants to present our work. Alexander, please.
I wanted you to forget my words. Okay, we talked to our friends from Finland. I'm happy they are really interesting people from Australia, from Hungary, different parts of the world. I learned a lot. It turns out that you can earn money in this profession, but I can't believe it, by the way. That's all, I think. Who will be next?
Okay, thank you. Maybe some person from our room want to add something because it's only the smallest part of our discussion. So maybe one of you wants to add some information.
I think I can add to that. So
Yeah,
basically, we also talked about our own personal ways to become a social worker, or in my case I'm a sociologist, but we really gave like insight experiences, like how our career path were growing. And I think it was really nice that we had our senior colleagues, and we also had like the early stage of this academic career, so we learned a little bit different experiences from different countries. And in the third part, I think in a discussion, we were talking about how social work has been established in our own country. So we were talking about experiences in Australia, history of social work. We shared also knowledge about Russia, and I was giving a little brief introduction how social work is done in Hungary and able to be an academic profession as well. And it was, I think, a very good discussion because we almost were really tight with the time.
Okay, thank you so much. And now room number 2, about pluses and minuses of social work as a profession. Who wants to present?
Yeah, I to start. We had a really great conversation. It inspires me very good. Our conversation was like international because we discussed not only Russian and Finnish systems, we discussed also about United States and Japan. Kikok, thank you so much. And Iranian system, Hadi, thank you so much for this. We discussed problems of social work system in different countries, and I think all of countries have really common problems, and maybe my conclusion in this conversation was that countries have to fight these problems together. So I'm really great. I had great pleasure to meet you. Thank you, our foreign friends, and I hope we will have this meeting again. Thank you.
Thank you, Ramazan. And the third group, most heartful group, because they discuss their personal stories, what was their way to social work. So who wants to present from the third group?
I want to present. Thank you, everybody with whom I communicate about why I did specialization is social work. We have very good discussion. We understand why every person choose social work, and we have a discussion about other themes. For example, about social work in Russia and in Finland, and we have talking about volunteering work, social volunteering in Finland and in Russia. Thank you everybody for talking. I'm very glad to communicate with you, and I think that we will see again.
Good.
Thank you, Julia. Okay, we had all three parts of our event today, and thank you so much for having for finding time to be here to take part in discussion. Thank you, Janet, for organizing. It was really nice, and I just hope that you learn something new from your foreign colleagues and you will use it in your future activity. If you want to add something, feel free.
Yeah. I want to add something.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that we all met today, and in the end, I would like to wish you all was good, and the new year brought you only positive events and emotions, because perhaps this is what is most lacking in our time. And thank you for your attention. I hope we to see you soon.
I'd also like to add something too, and thank you for those comments, Alexander. This is a great experience, and it's a sort of a form of transnational social work. I think social workers aren't necessarily very good at talking to each other across different borders. And we share a border, so I think that this is a great opportunity for us to learn more about what's happening in each other's country, and that we do share a profession. That's the other thing. It's sort of quite interesting to explore that. And I hope, Anastasia, well, thank you very much for initiating this in the first place. And I would hope that we would have an opportunity perhaps to do more of this exchange, and of course we have the digital facilities to do so. Maybe there are other opportunities in the future we could explore in terms of promoting greater opportunities to exchange our work. So thank you for that.
Yes. Okay, thank you everybody.